Well, hello again and welcome to another edition of TTM Then and Now. I am your host, Bob, coming to you from the Card Closet, where we kick off pretty much every episode. And this episode, we will look once again at the Donruss Hall of Fame Heroes that came out in 1983, the great artwork by Dick Perez. And today we're going to feature one of the great center fielders from New York City, from Brooklyn Borough to be exact. In the 1950s, there is the great Duke Snider autographed. Certainly it must have been an amazing time to live in New York City and be a baseball fan in the mid-50s with the Giants and Willie Mays, the Yankees, of course, and Mickey Mantle, and the Brooklyn Dodgers with Duke Snider, and the passion of their fan bases individually, all in the same city. My father told me that there were times when they would go to a Yankee game for an afternoon, early afternoon game, and then walk across the bridge and go see the Giants later in the day. So pretty amazing time. We have had great mail in the last several days, so there's a great mail bag on the other side, so let's get right to it. So the stack is 11 to get through, so let's go. Oakland, California is our first stop. And we have our first ever soccer players. Kevin Crowe. Kevin Crowe, who played for the San Diego Sockers. I picked up these in a card lot, and I thought, let's see who signs. And I went through, and I sent out a couple. But Kevin Crowe is the first ever to come back. So that is pretty darn cool. Kevin Crowe leads us off in our first ever soccer. We are trying to bring you the constant variety of sport, folks. And if you're old enough to know where that came from, you're as old as me. There you go. Birmingham, Alabama is next. And some World League. Chris Moore, World League punter. How cool is that? From Mr. Chris Moore. A couple of different cards. Pro Set came out with those World League cards. I think Chris Moore did some time in the NFL as well. But the Montreal Machine in the World League, Chris Moore. So, not the usual couple of starters. Pittsburgh, PA, and there's a letter. Should we start with the card? Should we start with the letter? Let's start with the card. And there's an unsigned Rocky Blyer card. So we know what the letter is. We know the letter is going to be our Dear John letter. If you've been following along on any of the other TTM channels, and I try to watch them all, I love them. There's the Dear John letter. Dear fan, thank you, blah, blah, blah. We won't go through it all, but basically he said, not signing anymore. Simply, the volume of mail has become too great. And every player has the right to do what they want to do. But there are some players, like a guy like Rick Smits, who completely embrace it and go out of their way to ask for the mail. And then there's others that find their way out of it. So take it for what you want. Orlando, Florida. I think there are some things we can do as far as courtesies on our end. Manny Trio to help the situation, and there's 3 from Manny Trio. So I wanted Manny Trio for the 88 set, and there are 2 with the leaders card and then the base card. And then anytime I can get something with a different oddball logo, there's Manny Trio on the 1981 card, but the Coca-Cola version. Manny Trio charges $5 per for St. Jude Children's Hospital. And I think for him, you go online and you fill it out, and then you send him proof that you did that. I know Joe Theismann also does St. Jude. I think his process maybe was a little different, but it's $5 per for Manny Trio. So my point about courtesy, maybe not sending, 7, 8, 9 cards a shot, Not sending too often. This one, we don't know where it's from, but we got a nice, cool Big Bird stamp. Love those. So courtesy certainly can help it, I think. And Herb Washington, a pinch runner. The only time he ever played in games is as a pinch runner. So he is a groundbreaker and is pretty good running on that ground, wasn't he? Herb Washington, the Oakland A's, the 1975 card, and a pinch runner card. So there you have it. So that's a pretty cool one to get. But I think some of these guys, and this hobby has gotten so popular because of the ease for us as people that love doing it to find addresses and send them out. Cincinnati, Ohio. And then guys like me that love making these videos that promote it. And we have Jeff Branson, 92 Stadium Club, 88 Topps Olympic card from the traded set. Love that card. Just the simplicity, the red, white, and blue, the logo at the top, the way the player kind of cuts into the logo like that. And then, of course, I think the Stadium Club cards are so sharp for autographs. Love that. Love that get from Jeff Branson, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So basically, you know, guys will go to third parties. I think Rocky Blyer, you go through his website to buy things. Jim Gantner for the 88 set in the thin blue ink. Jim Gantner. Very cool. 88 Jim Gantner. It's his nickname Gumby, I think. This one also, we don't know where it's coming from. Oh, wait, we do. There's a return address on the back. Fred Hoagland. We got a NFL offensive lineman. Some vintage football. Fred Hoagland, center with the Colts. Center with the Browns. On the 79 on top and the 78. Do I have that right? So this band here is what confuses me on the 73s and the 79s. I know that's a 78. So those of you that know, I know you're screaming at the screen, it's a 78 or 9 or 3 or whatever it is, but we'll check that out. Las Vegas, Nevada. And then I saw CD. So that means that's going to be a Chili Davis, I do believe. Chili Davis. I sent that to Mike McGuire, who handles the signings for a number of players, including Chili Davis. I also sent Dave Steeb. Dave Steeb has not come back yet. But there's Chili Davis in a penny sleeve and a top loader. So the 88 set is picking up some nice traction today. Gantner, Davis, Branson, 2 from Trio. Milwaukee, Wisconsin is next. And I'm trying to do some different ways of sending. So I see people use the pocket method. Let's see. You know, this is pretty simple, actually. Who'd we get back? We got back Jim Backen. Kicker. Vintage football. All right. And I sent 4 because I had 4. And I just said, yeah, don't send a lot of cards to these guys. And he didn't sign one of them. So he has a limit. And we found that it's 3. So there you have it. Punters and kickers. So great, right? So great at signing. So 3 out of 4 from Jim Backen, we hope. Or Backen. Kicker for the Cards. And our last one. Miami, Florida, with my favorite Muppet of all, Guy Smiley. Love Mr. Guy Smiley. Let's see who we got from Miami, Florida. Vintage football, Billy Kilmer on the 69. That looks so great. All these 69s look so fantastic signed, I think. The basic plain color background just helps the autograph pop off of that. So there you have that. So these were returns that came in on Friday and on Saturday, and we're shooting this on Monday. We had a great week last week with so many returns last week. So while we have some guys like Rocky Blyer who are deciding not to sign anymore through the mail, that's okay, because there's a lot of guys that will sign, and they'll embrace their fans, and we will try to be courteous to them. We hope you are enjoying the ride with us. If you are, please hit like. Please subscribe. Do me a favor and let somebody else know. Share it. And then, of course, leave a comment. I love hearing your comments, and there are so many that do, and I do my best to respond to every single one. Thank you. Until next time, farewell.